Thou who goes holly wokest shall goeth brokest. Because the pitch meeting for Thunder Thighs is as follows. A hipster douchebag stands up and proclaims overweight superheroes are what's trendy now. Oh, that soy boy bitch is not lying. Because Thunder Thighs are on the move. Thunder Thighs are loose. Roadhouse, baby. Now, joking aside, this movie does not help the stereotype that women aren't funny. Because this movie was as funny as a sack of dying kittens. And to be fair, that probably would be funny to most of these weirdo far leftists. Anyway, in fairness, woke or not, Melissa McCarthy ain't funny. She's basically Seth Rogen with bigger titties. The epitome of a one-note actor. The same character in every movie she's in. I mean, I'd go as far as to say that even Amy Schumer was funnier and showed more acting ability. Avoiding anything with Melissa McCarthy in it has served me well in life so far. Imagine all the talented actors out there who never get a shot to showcase themselves in highly advertised projects, but yet Melissa McCarthy is somehow never out of movies. I think her husband has some serious clout in Hollywood. It's the only way to explain how she keeps getting work, and isn't her true superpower the ability to never be satisfied at an all-you-can-eat buffet? Okay, don't laugh at that. But look, I'm not sure why Melissa needs a superpower. She already has mind control like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Example number one, this movie got made. That in and itself is a high-level Jedi mind trick. Example number two, she convinced someone to play with her Thundercat. Whatever the fuck that means, I don't even want to know. Anyway, I love how Orange Man is still living rent-free in all of their heads. I mean, Trump moved out of the White House and straight into the small minds of woke SJWs everywhere. Anyway, the mayor of Chicago turning out to be a supervillain is the most realistic part. I mean, the quote from the movie is, "The mayor of Chicago uses chaos and murders to stoke fear and get re-elected." So it made me think, oh, this might be a documentary then. But in the movie Thunder Force Laughter, Melissa McCarthy gains the power to lift up a bus above her head, which is the equivalent of her own body weight. That is quite impressive. But I have to say, I despise that extremely awful joke. I can't hear you because I'm literally throwing a bus. Oh my god, stop it. Whoever came up with that explosive diarrhea that they call dialogue needs to be fired right now. Now that I think about it, anybody involved in greenlighting Panda Force should be yeeted into the sun. Because let us not forget that one of the villains' names in this movie is Laser, despite the fact she uses electricity-based powers rather than lasers. Bravo to whichever galaxy brain idiot thought that was a great idea. Just a stunning and dumb move. Anyway, this whole movie boiled down to a bomb going off in an empty room of the top level of an office building. How the did this get approved? Because this show looks like an adult version of Henry Danger on Nickelodeon. This movie is so bad that the behind the scenes footage for the movie looks way more interesting than what we actually got. So I don't necessarily blame the actresses other than Susan Boyle. I blame everyone who funded this, because the money spent on this absolute diabolical mess could have given us 3 seasons of Dark Crystal. And yes, I'm still pissed off about that. Anyway, Thunder Force is a big budget throwaway SNL skit. It follows a classic SNL theory of movie making. Take a second-rate idea and add some second-rate jokes and make sure that every actor is selected for their wokeness and watch the magic happen. I don't know why I have to keep doing this with Netflix, but how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Because woke flicks is really pushing the boundaries about what is considered entertainment in 2021. You know, I have to admit that I find it astonishing how Netflix can have such amazing shows like The Crown or The Queen's Gambit, but can still make terrible movies such as this. Actually, I know why. It's the throw everything at the wall and see what sticks technique, but they keep trying the woke shit since they don't ever learn. It reminds me of a South Park episode years ago that already made fun of Netflix for making movies about literally anything. So nobody should be surprised at how much garbage gets gets made at this point, and I know finally a movie that brings both critics and fans together, because even the woke critics are getting to the point where they're like, okay, we're gonna need to actually make comedy again at some point. You know, when the journalist and the general public actually agree and give your movie bad reviews, that you've actually made a downright horrible movie. But I'm waiting for the scum and villainy of Twitter to say, oh, it's just toxic males on both sides now. But aside from those morons, is it really surprising though? The only thing worse than the oversaturation of hero films is the oversaturation of hero parodies. I mean, they always fall flat on their faces because they don't have the fundamental base knowledge of the genre that they're parodying. Anyway, I'm just preaching to the choir. You already know that. Now, if you actually want to laugh, just read the reviews for this movie. Petter D, half a star, not even 1 star. I wouldn't recommend this even if you were a drunk, blind person. You know, I think a blind, deaf wombat would still have a seizure watching this movie. Anyway, moving on. 1 star. Absolutely terrible is an understatement. Short and to the point, I like it. Okay, the next one. Sartorius P, another half star. While I was close to the end, I was like, well, at least they didn't vomit. Okay, wow, that's pretty harsh. Ben D, short for bend over, says, don't waste your time. Poor script, very few laughs. Oh, and Octavia Spencer is probably one of the worst actresses I've ever seen. 0 character, 0 acting skills, totally wouldn't. I actually disagree with that. I think Octavia Spencer is a good actress. Anyway, Quentin L says, please burn my mind. I want to forget this movie. So this man wants his brain matter to be thrown into hellfire. Damn, that's rough. Karasu S says, it pains me that I have to put a half star because I'd give a 0 for this trash movie. Nothing works. The actors can't even read their lines correctly. The jokes are dumb and not even the funny kind of dumb. And the whole premise is rotten at its core. It tries and fails at making overweight people look like they can do hero stuff. It just fails miserably at showing that there are even human beings with this level of idiocy. Not recommended, not even on a dare. Now, Karasu, I agree with this review, but I wouldn't recommend your level of education because, my God, reading this made me almost fall into a deep coma. But look, my favorite one is from Rundy in April 2021. Every negative review is by a male critic. It's the usual problem. If the goofy action movie has a female lead, men will hate it and try and take it down. Even worse, if she dares to have fun and doesn't look like Angelina Jolie in Tomb Raider, or worse, if the female lead is black, it sucks. This patriarchal world sucks. Yes, that's a real review. These weirdos truly exist. And on that bombshell, Mannix out.